So currently there is a copyright infringement case against Led Zeppelin for the song Stairway to Heaven. The band Spirit, who wrote the song Taurus, is alleging that they are copywriting that main riff. So I wanted to take a few moments from a musical theory perspective to go over these two riffs and to come to a conclusion whether or not these are enough similar to constitute copyright infringement. Both of these songs use what's called the Lament bass line, which was a very popular bass line used in the 16 and 1700s to denote sadness, tragedy. So what it is, it's a descending minor scale starting with the tonic, moving down, so it goes 1, 7, 6, 5. A common variation of this is to use the chromatic notes in between. And both of these songs, Spirit's Taurus as well as Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven, do use this descending lament bass line with the chromatic embellishments. They never get up to this down to this fifth note, rather it ends on the sixth note. So both songs are using this sound. Let's first listen to the main guitar riff from Spirit's Taurus. It'll play twice. It's a 4-bar riff. Alright, so there's the main guitar riff from Spirit's Taurus, and now here's Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. Alright, so both of these songs, as I mentioned before, use this descending bass line, the lament bass. So I'll point out those notes first. This is what they have in common. So the notes are A, G sharp, G, F sharp, F. Let's compare that to Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. A, G sharp, G, F sharp, F. So those notes are identical. Let's take a look at the chord progression now. We have A minor, G sharp augmented, C over G, C diminished over F sharp, the enharmonic for G flat, and F major 7. Let's now compare that with Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. We have A minor, the same, G sharp augmented, the same, C over G, the same. Instead of having a C diminished triad with F sharp in the bass, instead it's a D major triad with F sharp in the bass, and they both arrive at the F major 7 chord here in bar 3. And the cadence or the conclusion of the phrase is different as well. D minor to A major in Taurus, and G over B to A minor in Stairway to Heaven. So notationally wise, well, first, chord progressions cannot be copywritten. However, the way that you play the chord progression, the style, the exact voicing, the rhythm, etc., that forms a riff, and a riff can be copywritten. So the question is this the same riff as this next riff here? And I would argue that it is not the same riff. Let's start first with the notes that are identical. There are only three notes in this that are identical, and that would be the first two notes, the A and the C, A and the C, and the only other one is the C right here on the and a beat 1. So what's happening is it's a different voicing. I take it back. There's one extra note. There was 4. So those 3 notes that open, that does sound very similar right there, and it has the same rhythm, but it departs by the and a beat 2. So I don't think it's identical enough to constitute copyright infringement. Also, the chords here are different, but also all the notation is just different. It might sound similar because it's in the same key, but the key of A minor is very idiomatic for the guitar. What I mean by that is that key just works really well for playing guitar. There's a lot of open strings and chords and that you can get to. Whereas if you were in the key of B flat, which is only a half step up from A, it would be much more difficult to play with a guitar. You might have to use a capo. So that was perhaps the reason for choosing the same chord and or same key rather. So not only the same chord progression, but the same key, but that key just lends itself very well to the guitar. So let's listen one more time to both of these examples, and you can come to your own conclusion whether or not you think this is copyright infringement or not. But based on a musical theory standpoint, even though that the chord symbols are the same, you can't copyright a chord progression. The voicing of these chords is different. It does have all eighth notes in general. There's a tie here, a few rhythmic differences in bar 4, but using a straightforward eighth notes is just quite common. So let's have a listen. Alright, so there was Spirit's Taurus, and now here's Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. So besides those 4 notes that I pointed out earlier, there are a couple other notes that are the same. Here's a G sharp there on beat 3. Here's another G sharp on beat 3, but the difference is that we also have a B voiced on top of it, so it sounds significantly different. Here's the G, another G there, but with a C on top of it. And then F sharp on top of an F sharp, still a different voicing than a single F sharp. Here's an F, but this F with the E right there really brings out that major 7th, whereas that E doesn't happen until beat 2 in Spirit's Taurus. So I hope this was a helpful musical analysis for both of these pieces in terms of whether or not these two are similar enough to constitute copyright infringement. Thanks for your thoughts.